All right, let's get it rolling, man. We're going to put 20. I'm going to put a little over 20. Let's put 20. No, you know what? I'm going to be a man of my word. 21 minutes on the clock. See if we can do this. We'll probably run over, but it's all good. At least we will be concise tonight, which we normally are pretty concise. But tonight we wanted to switch some things up. Can't always do the same thing, fans. We want to make sure that we switch it up for you guys, give you different things. So we will not do our best of, our famous best of segment. We will not do that. We will not go over the games this upcoming week. I mean, we're actually in the middle of the week, so that makes sense to not go over those games. What we're actually going to do, we're going to have 4 topics. And the first one is real juicy. I'm ready to see how that looks. And this game is actually going on between Phoenix and Miami. But we're going to talk about those 2 teams in particular with topic 1. Topic 2, topic 3, we'll kind of spread it out, dive deep into the NBA as we see it right now. And again, we're going to make a couple predictions as it comes to the NBA season and the playoff run that these teams are making. So let's dive right into it, fellas. Topic number 1, man. We hit on these teams. They're playing right now, as mentioned. We're talking about the Suns and the Heat. The score right now is a big blowout by the Suns, which I actually thought that the Heat would win this game, man. I didn't think they're going to get blown out like this. So hopefully this is not a precursor to what we may see if these 2 teams face in the playoffs. Obviously, they're on the opposite sides of the conference, opposite sides of the NBA, different conferences. So that means that the only way they would face would be in the NBA Finals, which I could see that happening. But this is the question. Topic number 1, Zay and BG. The scarier number 1 seed, the Phoenix Suns for the Miami Heat. I want you guys to think as a chances of winning an NBA title. How scary are either one of these teams? You guys choose. BG, we'll start with you.
Yeah, so I'm going to run through this real quick. So I looked up some stuff on the Suns. They're 5th in scoring points per game. They're 5th in assists per game. They're 9th in rebounds, 5th in turnovers. Defensively, they're 6th in opponents' points per game. They're 3rd in opponents' field goal percentage and 1st in opponents' three-point percentage. They got the highest points differential per game at 7.6. For the Heat, they're 16th in scoring, 6th in assists, 17th in rebounds, 25th in assists. Their defense is pretty stout. They're 4th overall in defense, 4th overall in field goal percentage for opponents, 9th overall for three-point percentage for opponents, and their point differential is 5 points per game, which is 5th. But like you said, the main question is who has a better chance of winning. You know, for a second, I was going to pick the Heat being the scarier number 1 seed because I think a lot's unknown with them getting Oladipo back, getting all their guys healthy. But when you look at who has a better chance of winning the title, I really think if you look at the Suns in the West, there's only 2 teams that can beat them. And you're going to laugh here, but I think the only teams that can beat the Suns in the 7-game series when they're healthy are the Warriors and maybe a healthy Lakers. That's it.
See, I disagree, but I will let you finish your point. But there are limited teams in the West that can actually beat those guys.
Yeah, and then when I look at the East in a 7-game series, honestly, I think Philly's favored over the Heat. The Bucks are favored over
Bucks
the Heat.
Would be as reigning champs.
The Nets are favored over the Heat. And then I would favor the Heat over the Bulls, but I could still see the Bulls beating the Heat in a 7-game series. So there's more teams in the East that can beat the Heat, less teams in the West that can beat the Suns. I think the Suns have a better chance to make it to the finals, which means I would think they have a better chance to win the finals.
Zay, what about you, man? How do you feel about BG's take on the Phoenix Suns being a scarier number 1 team when compared to the Miami Heat?
And for BG knows that I hate agreeing with him, just to be devil's advocate. But no, all seriousness, I agree though. I mean, he laid out all the stats, and the Suns, you really look at the conference, it's not wide open. It's like the Suns Invitational. That's what this NBA playoff will be, because they have something they have to defend, and they know they have something they have to defend. You look at all their big games this season, including tonight, they perform in the big games, which is by far the most clear trait for me being convinced that they are the scarier number 1 seed.
Okay. You know what? I compare. I'm actually going with the Heat here, and I'm gonna tell you guys why. Okay, I clearly love what the Suns are doing. I mean, they're the number one overall seed right now if the playoffs ended, and I don't think that's going to change. Matter of fact, in the next month or so, as we finish this regular season. Yes, the Suns have a better opportunity to make the finals in the West because, BG, you mentioned a couple of the teams. I think the only competitors in the West for the Suns are the Golden State Warriors, the Memphis Grizzlies. Yes, the Memphis Grizzlies. I think Jokic and the Nuggets can do some damage, especially if they get Jamal Murray back. And then I'm not really scared of the Lakers. I would probably say those three: the Memphis Grizzlies, the Golden State Warriors, and the Nuggets have the best chance of knocking off the Suns. Okay, when you compare it to the other teams in the West. In the East, yes, I agree with what you guys are saying. It is an open gauntlet. Any team can win in the East. In the Heat are not, even though they're number one seed currently. I mean, you see what's happening right now. They're getting smacked by the Suns, and yeah, if they played the Bucks, it would be a toss-up. If they played the Sixers, it would be a toss-up. You know, if they played any of the other East teams that are at the top of the list, it would be a tough series for them. But the one thing that I'm banking on is the fact that we talking about Miami Heat culture. When is the last time those Suns won an NBA title?
I don't know. The last time they made it was probably with Barkley. Besides, a couple of years ago.
Besides last year, okay.
Last year.
Last year. Besides last year was 1994. They lost to the Chicago basketball team with Michael Jordan. So I commend that. That's not, that's nothing to sneeze at. Other than that, I don't think they made it. You may be talking about Tom Chambers. Look, I'm throwing back old school names, but I think this may have been the 80s when they made it last. They don't have, I don't even know if they have a NBA title in their history. Okay. When's the last time the Heat won it? LeBron James, yes. Dwayne Wade, they won 2 there. They won another one with Dwayne Wade and Shaquille O'Neal. They have 3 titles, and this is a team that the franchise that didn't start until I think late 80s, early 90s. So I'm going off the fact that they are a team that has a culture, a true culture. Okay. Lowry was out for weeks upon weeks. They held strong. They actually ascended to the top seed. They got shooters in Duncan Robinson. They got shooters in Tyler Hero, who will be the 6th man of the year. Shout out to you, BG, on that call. Okay. And they just have the pedigree, especially with Pat Riley in the building, being able to call shots from up top. And then you got Eric Spoelstra, who was just named a top 15 coach of all time, by the way. I got to roll with the fact that I think the Heat have and again, the Heat, before the Suns made it last year, who made it 2 years ago? The Miami Heat. So it's not like they don't have recent history of winning games and being a team that's competitive or being a team that has title contentions. They have that. Okay, they have title aspirations. That's what they expect year in and year out. And I love the fact that they get Oladipo back. I love the fact that Lowry is healthy. I love the fact that, again, Hero and Duncan are scoring the ball. I love the fact that Bam looks like an all NBA type of player. And I love the fact that the East is wide open. So if it's so wide open, why not go with the number 1 seed making the NBA Finals? So yeah, they're getting their butts whooped tonight, but I love the fact that the Heat are a team that you can bank on. They're going to compete defensively. They're going to be a great home court advantage if you have to face them in Miami. And I was like the fact that they have so many ball players, man. No real superstars, but a lot of really, really, really good ball players. And the Suns, we got to see how CP3 comes back and how he gels with the squad, being out 6 to 8 weeks, which I think he can do it. I mean, he's a Hall of Famer, but that is a lot to ask. He's one injury, one play away from possibly missing some times in the playoffs. So you never know how that's going to roll, man.